What is up, y'all? We just lost to the Celtics, and boy, oh boy, do I hate losing to the Celtics, especially the Celtics, especially if Smart is playing. God, I hate that guy. I appreciate, I respect his game. He hustles hard. He's a great defender, but I hate him. It's plain and simple. Can't define it. Just hate the guy. No, I don't actually hate the guy, but you know what I mean. I'm just talking nonsense because I lost my mind in that game because that game was horrific to watch. It was pretty bad. It was terrible. It didn't look like the Raptors that I know. It was defensively we lost. So many turnovers. So many defensive mistakes. Offensively, we were not going. It was a terrible game. And credit to Boston. They did play well. They played well. Tatum didn't have a great game. He wasn't shooting all that well the whole game. He did, start to pick it up. But that was also on us, but also him heating up as well. But we had a bit of a problem rebounding. Offensive boards, they had a lot of second chance points. We were just not getting the boards. Some people may just pin it on our center issue, or if we still have that center issue. I don't know. Some people may have. I don't know. I feel like some people just forgot about that. Some people are still on it. I'm on the team where we still have that issue, especially when Precious, he didn't have a good game either today. I was hoping he'd be good off the bench like last time, and he did for about 2 minutes or something like that. For about, like, when he first got on, he did well actually. He was active. He gave a boost of energy. It was good, and then he just died off basically. He just slowly did less and less and less. Caught a lot of fouls. He got what, 4? I don't know. No, 4. Yes, he ended the game with 4. That was a big issue with today's game. He had 4. Barnes had 4. Pascal had 4. It was, and I'll talk about more of that later on. But it was not good to see. Siakam didn't have a good game either. You can a little bit of a leeway there because he's just back from injury, right? This is his second game. Maybe he's a bit tired, but offensively he just looked kind of empty. He wasn't attacking as hard. I'm not sure why. It might be because of the foul trouble, but it didn't look like Siakam. The attacking spin move, spin-a-rooney Siakam. Didn't see that. Now, for the takeaways. So, offensively, we looked lost in the second half. First half, we did decent. We dropped 33 in one of the quarters. I forget which one, first or second. I believe it was a second. Or first, actually. Second half, we just looked lost. We made turnovers. We were... I remember we ended up with a Fred VanVleet 3, but I guess you can say it was good ball movement, and it was against a tough defense. They were playing good defense in the paint, but I swear, we passed it around in the paint. Like, they were right under the basket. They were about to shoot, pump faked it, passed. Another one, pass. Another one, pass. And then we just passed it out to Fred in the 3-point line. He got it in. Right, and it's good. It's good ball movement, right? But it's like those guys didn't know what to do with the ball. They were just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna pass it off, and hopefully the guy will make a play, the next guy, right? And then I swear it was just, I don't know. And we had a lot of turnovers. I feel like because of those lack of creation, let's say. And it was surprising because I thought OG would just take that role, because Siakam wasn't doing all that much, right? And I thought maybe OG will play like how he played without Siakam, right? When we didn't have Siakam and he created shots, and he didn't really. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's because Siakam was um, on at the same time, or if he wasn't, did he think that he should, create opportunities for, let's say, Scottie, who was demanded to make more shots, and he didn't. Basically, he made a bit more, but not too many. He made 11, right? But again, efficient. 7 out of 11. Like that was 2 more than he had last time, right? He had 9 shots. This time 11. And that was the thing about Barnes. He looked like he was trying to get more shots in, right? But sometimes he would just blank out, or he would try a bit too hard, right? And he, especially in the fourth, where he, turned the ball over. And I remember one of the drives he did. He drove it in, and there were like 3 defenders, and he didn't see anything, so he just passed it out behind him, and of course it was a turnover, right? It was a bad, it was a bad pass. It was right through traffic, right? And it was a bad pass, but I can understand why he was trying to do what he was trying to do, right? He was trying to drive in and get his points, which is what he was asked to do, right? But he's still learning. People forget this guy. He was our highest scorer tonight. He had 21 tonight. Next was what? Fred, 16 points. And Fred played decently. He played very decently. Didn't shoot the ball all that well. Not well at all, actually. But, he was 4 for 9 for the 3-point line, right? Got his free throws, all 2 of them. Made 6 assists, so he had a decent game. But it's just Siakam having 8 points. Not good. Anyway, the next takeaway, center issue. Precious was like, what was Precious doing? He didn't do anything. He had what, 3 points? 3 points. 4 personal fouls. And like he did play defensively a bit better. I remember he had a couple of blocks, and the issue was that he's just not effective. I don't know what's the issue, and I saw that he is getting tips from Ken Birch. He, in one of the media sessions, he did mention that he talks to Ken Birch a lot and gets a lot of tips from Ken Birch, because Ken Birch is a vet in the league. He's been in around the league for quite a bit. He's a big guy, similar type guy, and it just seems like Precious isn't applying whatever Ken Birch is teaching him, whatever that may be, right? I would feel like it's just one of those push shots, right? But I don't really see push shots. Well, I do, but like it's not effective push shots. Maybe it takes some more reps for him to get those in. But the most important part was we were getting, like, Robert Williams III was a menace. We couldn't stop that guy from getting boards, and it was just trouble. We couldn't really take him. The first half it was brutal. Second half it was a bit less, but still, the first half he was killing us on the boards. Even if we had like 2 guys, he would get the board still, pass it out, they score, right? So I still think there's a center issue, and there's not much we can do about it. We can't go shopping for a center. I really don't think so. So we just have to stick it out, pretty much. Now Siakam went to the line for the first time in the 4th quarter. That's a headache. I'm pretty sure if I heard that, if someone told me that about any game, like someone just told me, hey, I'll tell you one fact about this game tonight, and I had no idea about any of the game, and they said, oh, Siakam went to the line for the first time in the 4th quarter. at the 10th minute, 10 minutes and something seconds, I'd be like, okay, we probably lost. You're like, what? How does he get no fouls in for until the fourth quarter for a guy like him, a guy who literally drives in? That's his bread and butter. He drives in. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's incredible, and you can only blame the refs for a certain amount, right? You can't blame the refs for that. He just wasn't aggressive. If it's like, come on, Siakam, you're not Barnes, you're not a rookie. You know what you have to do. I don't know. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad for Siakam. I'm sure he knows too. Defensively, he was locked in. It was good. It's just offensively, it just didn't look like him. He was not aggressive enough. But it is his second game from injury, so benefit of the doubt. Now the three usuals. Best performance, Scottie Barnes. Now I could have said Fred VanVleet. Fred had a solid game to his, it's up to his standards, right? Fred. And it was interesting to see Scottie deal with foul trouble, and I'm sure he could have gotten more points and was more aggressive, but unfortunately he went into foul trouble, right? And so, it kind of limited him, but overall, in general, he had a solid game, right? Defensively, he did well. He got to the line. Something Siakam should have done, right? But Barnes went in. He only missed one. He was 7 for 8, right? And I hate it when people. Free throws should be easy free points, in my opinion, right? You don't have to be like 90 plus, but at least like 80, And he was our leading scorer, 21 points. I mean, nothing crazy, but leading scorer, rookie, over Siakam, over Fred, 11%. I mean, that's solid, right? Worst performers, I couldn't choose Precious or Siakam. I couldn't choose. One is injured and one is just not in his groove. He mentioned that he's not in game rhythm. So he's just not in the rhythm. I don't know what that means. I don't know when he'll be in the rhythm. Does he need more reps? I don't know. He's getting solid minutes, 25 minutes. Hopefully something in him. He gets the rhythm back. Siakam, hopefully he'll shake off the injury. He'll just forget about this. Tomorrow, there's another game tomorrow, so everyone's gonna forget about this game and go to the next one, right? Right. Now the six-man performance, Svi. Svi was he was a spark plug. He was good. 10 points off the bench, something exactly what I need. I don't need like 15. It would be great to have 15, but 10, whatever, solid. 10 every game, solid. I'm down with that. Very efficient, 4 for 6. Didn't take too many shots. Didn't fumble it too much. I still remember when Precious and Svi. I think Precious stole it, and Precious was running down, and he could have just easily passed it up to Svi, and he was ahead of him. Svi was ahead of him, and the defender was like hip to hip on Precious, and he had plenty of time to just pass it up, right? He didn't. Svi had an open look, right? Didn't. Lost the ball. Ended up being a turnover, actually. We lost the ball. It was back to the Celtics. And I remember another one where Svi had it, and it looked like after the play, Precious was like, hey, I was expecting an alley-oop. And Svi was like, oh, okay, because he passed it behind. He passed it to, I believe Pascal or Barnes for a layup. But that miscommunication, I don't know. Precious and Svi didn't really connect tonight. Looking at those two examples, right? And those were two clear-cut examples. But Svi got his own, right? He got his own. He is a guy who can create. He cuts well. I remember when Fred passed it right into, like, in the middle, through the middle, because Svi was cutting in. And as I said, Svi is a great cutter. I mentioned this from my previous video. But Svi is a great cutter, just like Utah. You know, he's a Utah type of player, right? And these were like Utah minutes, right? Svi is like Utah. Utah is like Svi. Those guys are this one and the same, right? And decent defense, right? It was more of his offensive energy that sparked the game a bit, and so it was nice to see from Svi. It's good. Can't say much about the other guys. Delano played decent. You know, it was more defensively. He got, you know, he had a better game than offensively, but. This game I just don't want to forget about. I just want to sleep and go for the next game, right? And that's tomorrow. So we got to get ready. Let's win for the tomorrow.